Hey guys, welcome back to the Alone Together podcast where the loners aren't alone. I'm Layla.
I'm Journey.
And today we are going to be talking about how to find motivation when life is kicking your ass. Now,
Yeah.
this is a constant struggle for me. It's one of the biggest topics in my therapy, and I feel like it's the reason I have therapy. Because motivation is just a constant battle. You know, every day you're not going to want to do everything you're supposed to do. You don't always wake up like, I'm going to do this today. You know, some days you're feeling down. Some days you don't want to do anything. And that's okay. And there's also a lot of things that you could do to help with that and to make your days more efficient and to not get down on yourself when you feel bad for not having motivation. So me and Journey want to share some of the things that have helped us get motivated when we're feeling down. And I feel like this year I've been so motivated and I've been doing a lot of new things, new tips and tricks, and it's been helping a lot. So I really am excited to share what I've been doing. But Journey, what are some things that you do when you're not feeling motivated?
I guess on like a smaller level, like things that I would do to help me get motivated would be being productive, like for myself. Like I really get motivated by going to the gym.
Yes.
I'm like really motivated by that and just starting my day off with it though.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say taking the time to just do stuff for me. Like every single day I'm going to have a busy day at school, at work, whatever the case, but then I can come home and like have my me time.
Yeah.
And I am motivated by that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm motivated by the feeling of I was productive today. So now I get to relax.
Yeah.
And I look forward to that every day because I hate that feeling when you're like laying down all day or you're just lazy all day. And at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, I didn't do anything, bro.
Nah, for real.
Like those days are necessary when you're tired and stuff, you know, exhausted, but I just hate that feeling. Like I need to get something done.
Yeah. Or
I'm
when
motivated
you like
by that.
When you go to get something done and then a bunch of stuff just happens and then you get home and like even though it was a busy day, you didn't get nothing done.
That
like
you
those
wanted
are
to
the
do.
worst. Those are the worst. But
For real.
The gym is a huge one. I just started going to the gym in the mornings this year with
Changes
my roommate.
Everything.
And it really
Game
does
changer.
because it just, first of all, it releases endorphins. Like I genuinely feel happier when I go to the gym in the morning. I feel happier
Same.
throughout the day.
Same.
And then even if you don't have the motivation to do something throughout the day, you're like, well, at least I got that done today. Like I already went to the gym. Like I'm winning already. So that has been one of the things this year that's helped me stay motivated. And I feel like it just keeps me motivated throughout the day to do other things, going to the gym in the morning specifically.
Definitely. And I feel it helps my anxiety so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like for some reason, I feel it the most when I wake up. It used to be like when I went to sleep, but now it's when I wake up and I just have that like anxious, like, ooh, I need to get things done. But just going to the gym, like, brings me my peace for the day. It just sets a smooth balance and, you know, gets me going. But for sure, we were talking about this in my class this week. I think motivation kind of just takes a little bit of discipline.
Definitely.
You definitely have to just want to wake up every day and do it and have that like that force behind you. I don't know, the motivation. It's hard to find your reason why though.
Yeah.
But once you do, it becomes more enjoyable.
It does. That's one thing I wanted to say about motivation too. You don't necessarily have to want to do something to do it. I feel like a lot of people feel like you have to like hype yourself up to do something, like, for example, homework. Like you don't have to want to do your homework to do it. You have to start doing it because once you start doing something, you're building up motivation to do it because you're already doing it. Yeah, once you take the first step, that just sets you up to be motivated to do it. And I feel like a lot of people feel like you have to want to do something and you don't have to. That's a big misconception, I think.
I feel that. I think wanting to do something definitely helps a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm actually this semester taking classes I really like and I want to do the work. Last semester I had the motivation didn't come till later, till I had a reason that I needed to work. Like, I need to get a good grade on this test. That became the motivation. But the wanting it wasn't there. But you're right. You're right. You definitely just have to find a reason, I think.
Yeah.
And just do it. And just take the first step. And I think that we need to not be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because I think that sometimes we get so afraid of having to do it all alone, and or it not working out.
Yeah.
Or the past repeating itself and your efforts feeling like a waste. But everything, is for a reason. Everything, like the way things go, is for a reason. And I feel like if you're at the point in time where you need to ask for help, the people before you were once in that position too. So they have the tools to help you. It's just, swallowing your pride a little bit and doing what you need to do to get it done.
Yeah. And help looks different for different people. If you're trying to find help with motivation, it doesn't necessarily mean like someone's doing something for you. It could be as simple as having a friend to hold you accountable. If you really want to work out every morning, it could be having a friend that is going to go to the gym with you and make sure that y'all both go. And like me and my roommate goes to the gym together now, and that's really helped me because like when one of us doesn't want to go, we know that the other one has to go. Like we already planned it. So
motivating each other.
Yeah, just keeping each other accountable. And having those friends that'll hold you accountable and know like what goals you want to reach and are going to help you get there. And that support system in general.
Accountability for sure. If no one else is doing it or holding you accountable, somehow find the way to do it yourself. It's difficult, definitely, but accountability is huge. Dang, that's good point. What's another thing that you do?
One thing that I started doing, I want to emphasize when we're talking about mornings and working out, your morning determines your day so much. That's something that I realized this year.
How you start the day is
How
huge.
You start your day is huge. And also just getting a full night's of rest. But one thing that I started doing this year, and I feel like it really changed the game for me, is right before I go to bed, when I'm journaling, I'll write down all the things that I have to do tomorrow and some things that I could do tomorrow. And the things that I have to do, it'll be something as simple as wake up, make myself breakfast, eat lunch, go to class. Like it's literally everything I have to do. And
like then, a to-do list?
Yeah, but it's like every single thing I have to do. Like take
laying it all out.
Like lay it all out. And then like I'll look at the one from yesterday and I'll check all the things that I did. And it makes me feel good about my day because even if it's like a couple things I missed, I know like I did a majority of those need to do things. And
I like that.
Also right before I fall asleep or when I'm in bed, like preparing to go to sleep, I just say like, it's like a little mantra I say to myself, I will know exactly what to do tomorrow. And
I like that.
That, I don't know, it's been very powerful for me because
affirming it is powerful.
Yeah, you affirm yourself, and I kind of keep that in my head throughout the day, like by saying it right before I go to sleep. Throughout the day when I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't do this, and I start to get down on myself, I'm like, wait a minute, I know exactly what to do today.
Right.
And it's been really powerful, helpful.
I think that also kind of like, I don't write everything out, but having like a planner. And I got a notebook just for to-do lists. And I will write it the night before so that I know what I need to do tomorrow. and seeing it on the planner a second time. And I put it on my phone. Like, I just need the constant reminder and the constant like deadline.
Yeah.
Like it needs to get done. And for some reason that motivates me. Like making sure I get it done by a certain timeline. Maybe I'm just a very like structured person.
Yeah.
But that helps me a lot. Like I said earlier, I want to just emphasize like know that you're not like when life is kicking ass and it's like hard to find the motivation though, I feel like we have to remember that we're not doing this alone. Like there's people out there too who are struggling with the same thing and having a hard time getting out of bed, like finding the motivation to just do the daily necessities. It's real. And I feel like times when it's been like that for me, I always feel like it would go worse because I'm like, no one understands me right now. Like, no one knows what it feels like to feel like this. But the minute I realize that is not true and I have people around me who may be going through the same thing or can motivate me to be better, everything changed. It's a mindset. The motivation is a mindset. It's not always just the activities that you do.
And I wanted to say, for people that suffer from chronic depression, something as simple as making it through the day can be your reward. Like, that could be your motivation. Like, when it's really hard, we've both had times like that, and you can't get out of bed and you can't do these things, but just making it through the day, it could be like, okay, like, I did it today. Because it's not always going to be a day where you're going to go to the gym and do all of these things, but it could be something as simple as that when you're really, really feeling down on yourself.
Yeah. And just making the time for you. But you're not alone in this. We're alone together. And yeah.
And I wanted to emphasize meditation and how that's helped me with motivation, because I feel like I've been having like a lot of breakthroughs with my meditation recently. I meditate every night before I go to sleep. But I'm reading this book. I've talked about it before on the podcast, but Becoming Supernatural, I'm reading it again. And it just really has been helping me, because in this book it talks about how at certain times of the day your mind travels to the things that feed your anxiety and feed your depression. And as I'm meditating now, I look at it like, I'll start thinking about a past relationship, or I'll start thinking about the person that's bothering me that day. And I bring my mind back and I'm like, I am not those thoughts. Like, my mind is trying to go over there, but I'm not those thoughts. And I'm in control of my mind. Like, I keep saying I'm in control of my mind. And throughout the day, when I find my body wanting to be anxious or wanting to be depressed and wanting to dwell on the past, I just like take a couple deep breaths and I'm like, I am in control of my mind. And it brings me back to center.
I really like that affirmation. I'm gonna add that to my affirmation list. But facts, it's truly a mindset. Like, we are in control of our emotions. It's just, it takes that dedication, that time.
You really have to train your mind, like trick yourself. I'd be like, when I'm meditating, it's kind of funny because I'll be saying that, like, I'm in control of my mind, and then I'll start controlling my breathing, and I'm like, yeah, got you, body. Like, I'm in control of everything right now. I'll be like, yeah, you got punked.
And that, like how I said earlier, the feeling of that, like being productive, the feeling of being in control of yourself is extremely motivating.
Extremely powerful. Like, when you think about it like that, like, because your body control is kind of on autopilot a lot of the time. Like, it's controlling your breathing, it's controlling your heart rate. And I just imagine, like, when I start controlling my breathing, I'm like, I'm controlling the flow of blood throughout my body. Every single inch of my body, I'm controlling it with my breath right now. You really are. And that's what, like, that's hella powerful, because I'd be sitting there like, yeah, what now, body? I run this. Run this.
Like, I feel that. And with my yoga class that I've been taking, it's been a lot of like, right now we're obviously in the beginning of semester and learning the different practices on yoga. But one of the things, one of the core like teachings is truth and self-discipline. And every day on Thursday class, we have our practice day, and she'll tell us before, which one are you going to apply to the practice today. And last class, she said, those of you who aren't motivated, like, which one are you going to utilize? And mostly everybody said self-discipline, but I thought about truth as well, because, we got to be honest with ourselves some days. Some days we're not going to have the motivation to do it, period. But it's making sure you do it the next day, or bringing yourself back to center and regrounding yourself and getting it done, or just finding the self-discipline as well. But yeah,
when you have those, when you're doing this every day and motivating yourself every day, like, for the past week, I've been really motivated and I've been like going hard every single day. But yesterday when I came home, I was like, I just need to rest.
I need to sit down.
I need to sit down. And like, since I had that productive week, I was okay with that. And I think that helps. Like, when you're motivated, when you have those times when you really need a break, like, you're going to feel okay to give yourself the grace to take that break. And it's okay sometimes to give yourself the grace to take that break. Like, You don't always have to just keep pushing yourself.
Yes. And, I think this is definitely something that, like, is hard for people with anxiety or who really struggle with it because, being anxious is kind of a part of it is always wanting to do something.
Yeah.
And feeling like there's always something that needs to be done.
Facts.
And that is something I definitely had to train my mind to not be stuck in. Like, I don't always have to be doing something.
Yeah.
And that was huge for me. That was like finding the time for myself, like I said earlier, and just making sure I get it done, but then I make time for myself. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm really, really motivated by that. Just, feeling like I did as much as I could to my best ability.
Every day. And that list helps so much with that because when you have anxiety and you feel like you always need to be doing something, when you look at that list, if you already checked off every box on that list, then you really you're reassuring yourself okay, it's okay for me to take a break. And Journey said she likes to plan it out by time, but for me, I don't like doing that because I kind of feel like if I don't make the time, then it sets myself up to be upset with myself. So I just writing it down, everything that I have to do and doing it on my own time. And I found that it helps me get most of it done because when I set out a specific time for a specific class to study, if I don't study for that class at that time, I'm like, dang, I can't do anything. I just messed up the whole day. But,
I feel that.
Yeah, so just writing it out and not putting a time unless it's I have my specific things that are time stamped. I have to go to class at this time. I have to do this at this time.
Right.
But all the rest of the stuff, I'm like, okay, I'll do it on my own time. And it helps me get more done because I'm like, okay, I can work on anything, whatever I feel like.
I feel that. That's completely valid for sure. And I think, aside from motivating myself, I feel like I'm really motivated by my friends. Especially, well, obviously you, but I mean, honestly, everyone. We're all out here
trying to make it.
That's exactly what I was about to say. We're all out here trying to make it. That's motivating.
It is.
We all could have gave up by now.
For real.
College is hard, but what I wanted to say was that, life is just a fight.
It is.
Every day you're going to have to find the motivation. It's a daily thing. And it's learning yourself and knowing yourself and finding what works for you. Because there's going to be those times in life when it's just hard, bro.
Yeah. So there's going to be those times when it's hard. And there's going to be those times when you're highly motivated. And I feel like it's important to embrace those times when you're motivated. Because when I'm in therapy and like I said, motivation is a huge topic with me and my therapist. But when I'm feeling motivated, my therapist will kind of be like, well, why are you here? Kind of type thing. And I'll be kind of getting down on myself. Well, I know eventually I'm going to be unmotivated. So I just want to stay in therapy. So when I get there, I could, you could help me out a little bit. But I kind of want to, I'm just thinking about this now, but I want to reframe that instead and embrace those times when I'm feeling motivated and be nah, I got this right now. Instead of being well, eventually I'm going to fall back down the line.
That's so huge. And that's what I was saying earlier, the feeling, the fear of it repeating. And I was listening to this girl's podcast and she's talking about anxiety, but from a Christian perspective. And she was anxiety is just fear. It is purely just fear. Anytime you're scared of something happening again, scared of the past, scared of the future, scared of the present, you get anxious. And I've been thinking about that a lot because I feel that you're doing good and then you're well, what if this happens? And then, exactly. And it's bro, it's fine right now.
Just vibe. It's good. Just vibe, twin.
Just be in the present moment. It's going good now.
It's that overthinker though. Anytime I'm doing good, I'd be well, bro, this is really bad. But sometimes, sometimes when I'm doing good, why do I imagine, I will really imagine that someone in my family died and start crying. Who does that? That's why I just hate myself sometimes.
Same, why am I thinking?
I be laying in bed crying.
Those moments,
laying in bed crying, girl, they're alive and well, and you could call them right now. What are you doing, bro? I be going through the whole funeral, the car accident, the hospital scenes. Like,
I've had those days. Just overthinking and then taking the little things and just blowing them out of proportion. Like, that is not about to happen, bro.
Nah,
like, be real with yourself. But anyway, that's jokes. But being scared of, like, just being, the fear is real. And but we can't let the fear overtake the motivation. Like, we can't be scared to just take the step to enact the change and just go for it.
Yeah, because that fear is also a fear of yourself being successful, a fear of yourself being the best version of yourself. I think a lot of people are scared of that because you want to hold on to those things that are holding you back. Because it's comfortable. It's comfortable, like we said last episode. It's comfortable, but I don't know, like,
growth is beautiful. Change is beautiful.
Beautiful. Like, today,
it'll motivate you to just want to be better every single day.
Every day.
Why didn't I write that down? That is my biggest motivation.
You can literally, just as much as you're addicted to your comfortabilities, you get addicted to seeing those results in your growth. And it's so beautiful. Like, today I was driving by an old fling's house that, like, caused me a lot of pain. Not the house, but on the freeway. And I was listening to Kali Uchis with my hand out the window. And I was like, usually my mind would travel to think about him, but I just put myself back. I was like, just vibe. Like, just I'm on vibe. Like, I've changed so much since then. It's like, and that was such a beautiful, like, growth feeling for me. And I'm like, I could still be in that situation right now, but this is like one of the best feelings, like, way better than any feeling of that comfortability that I had.
Yes. I feel like once, so, like, I think of it in terms of, like, the gym, right? Like, since I weightlift, it's like I'm trying to constantly reach, like, a new PR, right? Like, I'm trying to lift a new weight, but I feel like that it's like my life too. Like, once I took the first step to start the self-growth journey and start expanding my mind and diving into my spirituality and really understanding me, like, I was just like, every single day I can take a step and I can reach a new, I like to say, vibration. Like, I'm constantly hiring my vibration, and that's so motivating because it's just fulfilling to know, like, I'm not worried about the outside world anymore.
No, for real.
Like, I'm right here. I'm just doing what I need to do to get me better. I'm not worried about how I'm affecting everybody else, my life and everybody else's life. Like, it's just me right now.
Exactly. That's my meditation thought process. Like, the book talks about different brain waves and how, like, when you're in a deep state of meditation, you can reach the brain waves that you are in when you're dreaming, basically, or when you're in a deep sleep. And that's when you have, like, really awakening experiences. So, like, whereas my old goals might have been, like, something dumb, my new goal is, like, to get into the delta brainwave state. But, like, for real, like, when I reach that, I'm gonna feel so accomplished because it's something I work on literally every single night. And it's like, I don't know, that's just a different feeling of accomplishment because it comes from within when you're getting all these, like, different affirmations from different people to fill yourself. It honestly isn't as fulfilling.
It's not motivating. The external praise is nowhere near as motivating and satisfying as the internal satisfaction, like, with yourself.
Because deep down, when you're getting external praise, that it can go away at any second. And you're kind of fighting to keep that.
And they're normally praising the materials.
Yes.
And the accomplishments and the accolades, not
you.
Yeah.
Your soul.
Not your soul. Not who you are.
Yeah.
What you are.
And, like, no one can ever take that away from you. When you're getting your motivation from yourself, when you're hiring your vibration, there's no one that could take that away from you because it's something you worked on for yourself
no one can
without the help of anybody. Like, no one can steal that from you.
Amen. That is so true. And I'm glad, But, wow. Yeah, I felt So, what do you do every single day in the morning that gets you motivated?
Lately, I've been not going on my phone. I feel like when I go on my phone, I kind of am like, all right, let me go back to sleep. but I just don't go on my phone and I wake up and I pop those contacts in right away. Because that's another thing. For my blind people, when you can't see when you wake up in the morning, it's just so easy to drift back into a sleep. Because it's blurry. It's like, why not? But
it's blurry.
I gotta pop my contacts in right away and be like, okay, I'm up now. And cooking breakfast in the morning, it just kind of motivates me. That smell of eggs and bacon, like, I don't know, it does something to me every time. But yeah, waking up, doing
food
that,
is motivating,
food, and just looking at all the things that I have to do today, like, instantly, that just reminds me, like, okay, I can do this. And especially like the mantra from the night before, I'll know exactly what to do today. Like, it really sticks with me. Like, something about saying it right before you go to sleep, it really sticks in your head. Like, I want everyone to try this because it's helped me so much, I swear.
The Layla method. Nah, for real. I think for me, it's just the gym. But it's like,
yeah, that's it.
What's the motivation to go to the gym? Well, I think for me, it's I don't want to, because it helps with my anxiousness so much, it is my motivator. Like, that's just like natural medicine to me. Like, I can feel better off the strength of me being active, and it benefits my body. Like, that's motivating. It's for my health. It's for my mental. Like, one of the affirmations I put on my affirmation list this year is to be healthy in all 5 dimensions. And that's mental, intellectual, spiritual, social, and another one. But
physical?
Yes, physical. There you go. All of those. And I can do that easily every day. I feel like I'm knocking a lot of them out just by going to the gym.
Yeah.
Then, I'm at school. There's my social. And eating right also contributes to that for me. Cooking my own food, like, I'm motivated to do that because I know it's going to be good, healthy. Yeah. I don't have to worry about spending money on something,
Exactly.
Just doing it for me, like, that's motivating.
Yeah. And I think finding something that you can reward yourself with when you're like really knocking it out of the park. So for me, my like reward is an acai bowl from Dip and Mix, which is right by my house. But I kind of like work towards my acai bowl throughout the day. Like, if I have a really good day, I'll be like, you know what? You deserve an acai bowl today. Right. But like, find that one thing that you can reward yourself with, so you can treat yourself when, like, I don't know, when you do good.
Mine's definitely like a little sweet. Little milkshake.
A little something sweet.
little cookie.
Yeah.
Little Nestle Toll House cookie.
Something like that. Like, it could be like, maybe your reward for yourself is a face mask and cooking yourself a nice dinner. A glass of wine if you're a classy lady.
A glass of, like, find your little
whatever it is for you. Like,
maybe it's seeing your friends. Like,
yeah, whatever makes you like feel like good. Really good. And it's like a nice little reward. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We have to just keep it going. And each stage of our life, like, what motivates us is going to be different. And what keeps us motivated, where we feel motivated, what motivates us, all that is going to change with who we are at the time. And that's okay. That's why I feel like sometimes when we don't feel motivated, it's because what we were doing that motivated us isn't anymore.
Yeah.
And we got to adjust.
Yeah, and it's important to know what motivates you, because if you're being motivated by out of spite, that's not going to last. Like, you can't be motivated like, I'm going to prove these people wrong. Like,
because at the end of the day, you're not doing it for them.
And at the end of the day, most of the time, they don't give a damn. Like, honestly, like,
they don't care about the work that goes into doing it. They just care about the results.
Yeah, it's like those memes where it's like the girls be posting cute pictures to try to make their ex mad, but the ex didn't leave them because they weren't cute. They left them because they were crazy. It's stuff like that. Like, when you find the motivation from within, like, it's just different. It can never go away. The motivation from, like, your trauma, it is a burning motivation.
The motivation to be better from the trauma.
That's a different type of motivation. I mean, like, the motivation from your trauma, like, I gotta make it out the hood, like, out the trenches, like, that kind of motivation, it works, but at a certain point, when you get it done,
then
it's
what?
like, what now, you know?
Exactly.
And eventually you have to find it from within.
Exactly. What is going to motivate you once you accomplish your goal?
Yeah.
Exactly that. I've thought about that before. Like, what am I going to want to do once I feel like I've done what I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually that'll come, each stage of life, we're going to be like,
I mean, tomorrow you'll know exactly what to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But it comes from within, for real, like you said. We got to want to change ourselves. And, well, not change, but change our habits.
Elevate yourself.
Elevate.
And like how I was talking about, you can control your mind in those moments when you want to feel depressed, when you want to feel anxious, when you want to feel unmotivated. Eventually it'll stick. Eventually your body won't even feel anxious or depressed because like you keep reminding yourself like, this is not me and this is not what I feel. So eventually like it'll become your routine to feel motivated. So
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I'm really big with like routines, but it's hard to establish them. But this week in my yoga class, my professor is talking about how when she was getting one of her certifications or something, the course and the homework, they had to wake up every single day at 5 a.m. and do a 45-minute like mantra chanting practice. And it was just a long chant that lasted like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And she said waking up at 5 a.m. was like horrible, obviously. And she knew, I'll just go back to sleep after I'm done with it. But she said they made her do it for 10 days. Or no, it was definitely longer than 10 days. I think it was almost 2 months. Yeah. But it was a long time. But anyway, she said that once she started to do it, she started to build the habit and it just became easier. And it just took like, I'm just going to do it every single day. And by the time she ended it, she was like, well, I was ready to start my day. Like, I was ready to get it going. I felt good. And she said, as much as it sucked at the beginning, you just have to be consistent with yourself and stay disciplined. And eventually it'll get easier.
Yeah. And waking up early can really change your day too.
It can.
Like, because I started waking up at 6 with my roommate to go to the gym. And it just makes me feel so much better because you just feel like you have so much of the day left and you can get something. You can, like, I could be done.
You knock the hardest thing out first.
Yeah, and I could be done with homework for a class by 9 a.m. And that's so rewarding because it's like I'm making breakfast and you hoes aren't even up yet or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's just, it feels so good throughout the day. I'll be like, y'all sleep. Y'all still sleep
on me.
I'm like, I got the eggs and turkey bacon and y'all sleep.
For real. Yeah. That knocking it out in the morning is big. But even if you're not a morning person, just find the time. Find the time in the day to do something that rewards you and benefits you.
Yeah, but realistically, in LA, if you have to do something and you're not driving by 1 p.m., the day is over. So I feel like you kind of have to be a morning person out here almost because of traffic.
Like, when I go to the gym, like I wake up every day at 7. I try to get to the gym by 8. But since I go to like mid-city for the gym, I have to be up. Like, I have to get up or else I'm stuck in traffic and I'm not going to make it on time.
Exactly.
It sucks, but it motivates me to get up out of bed and get it done.
It does become routine though. Like, even just waking up a couple days early, you'll start to go to sleep earlier. And then
it's like a chain reaction for real.
It is. I saw this millionaire. He was doing like a little TED talk and he said, one of the biggest and hardest steps to becoming a millionaire is getting 8 hours of sleep every day and waking up early. He said like that alone is one of the hardest things and like one of the biggest steps you could take. And it's so important because, I mean, come on, like everything happens during the day. Like you're not going to go network at 1 a.m. Like, for real. They're not outside. The people that are very successful are up
at some point. You need to take your butt
5 a.m.
Yeah. Go to bed, wake up and get it done the next day. And there's so much that I think we just try to cram in one day. But it's like, just be easy on yourself sometimes. Like, it's going to be all right. It's going to be a good day. Focus on it being a good day sometimes and making it a good day and controlling your thoughts so it is a good day, opposed to controlling everything you do and everything around you. Just kind of go with the flow and like, make some shake.
Yeah. And another tip I had is when you're feeling down and you feel like you have no motivation, one thing that has helped me is taking a shower to reset. Cause I don't
gotta
know.
take a shower in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning for sure. But like, say it's like 3 p.m. and you have to do homework, but you don't feel like doing homework, and you're just like, ugh, I feel horrible.
I feel that.
If you take a shower, something about being clean and cozy in your socks, it just makes you want to do something.
For real.
It just brings something out of me every time.
No, for real. That's true. That's true. I feel like when I was younger, as soon as I get home, I would shower, get out of my school clothes. As soon as I would get home, I'd get out of my school clothes, get comfortable. And I do that to this day. I could be wearing like sweatpants and a shirt to school. I'm getting home. I'm putting on something way more comfortable than that. And I'm about to get cozy. I'm about to light my candle.
Put in my fuzzy socks on.
Put my music on.
Light my incense.
Right. Let me get something done.
That'll get you going.
Get the environment right.
Yes. Set the mood. Set the vibes. Set the vibes for yourself.
Set the vibes for yourself.
Yes.
Period. And that starts with the mind.
Okay. We on to something. Yeah. We got one with this one.
Oh, God. But that is, I think all I had to say about finding the motivation.
Me too, y'all.
It's real. It's hard. Like, life is definitely difficult sometimes. And it's hard to just, get up. But it helps when you just stay consistent with yourself, find that motivation within, and just take the first step to getting it done.
Yeah.
It starts with you.
And a poet once said, every day the sun gonna shine, and that's why I love tomorrow.
Amen.
So I just want to throw that in there.
To the wonderful,
Sister Gloria, hallelujah.
We love you.
Yes.
No, but for real, just keep it going. It's going to work out, and the motivation will find you when you're ready to find it.
Exactly, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell us some things that motivate you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.